Clubhouse. We are done.
Yep, we are here. We are live.
Hey, everybody.
How's it going? Welcome. It is Tuesday night. It is Keeping It Raw and Real with me and Charlene. If you guys are on the live, give us a hashtag live. If you're on the replay, give us a hashtag replay. If you guys are sick of me, don't tell me. Yeah. Tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about marketing to fill your sales pipeline, because if you don't have enough clients, you need to be marketing. And then you need to be like marketing on autopilot.
Guys, this might change the entire way you look at your marketing, because one of the hardest things that happens, especially when you're trying to fill your sales funnel, you realize that maybe your business is going to break if you have more clients than you can handle. So this is just the reality of understanding, like, filling your sales pipeline is so key to helping your business grow and sustain. But the other side of that, and Haley and I have talked about this, it's like if you don't have the ways of growing your business and having systems in place, you're going to break it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to implode your business.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had the first time I've had this happen, and I'm actually kind of surprised it's the first time I've had this happen, but I got a bankruptcy notice from a now former client that went out of business in December.
Mm.
And, over expansion. We were just doing their social media, but, implosion happens.
It does. And it is so hard because it's something that, and I use this example, I don't need to stand at the Grand Canyon to know it's the Grand Canyon. I can see it really clear, right? From hundreds of miles away. And as business owners, if you can do this for your business, you're going to be better to respond to these things like this. And, Haley, when you got that notice, it's like heartbreaking because, small businesses is what keeps America running and keeps our communities funded. But it's like, business owner, you know better. Mm-hmm. You should do better because you just know it's, a better way for you to run your business.
Yeah. It's hard. I got to say, it's really hard when you start getting into scaling, and people don't realize that it goes from, I need to just keep my sales pipeline full, to now I need to keep my sales pipeline full and I need to build my processes. So it's like building the foundation of the business while you've got it halfway erected and hoping it doesn't like fall over flat on its face.
Right. And guys, this is really hard. Like, it's a finesse. You will get it wrong. It is not something you will get the first, second, third time, because you're in a people kind of business, right? Like, you might have 10 clients this month, but next month you might have 3. You can't just get rid of your team just because you're going, for a lower number that month, or maybe you increase it and hire, too many people and it's not consistent enough. That's when you shouldn't hire anyone until you have some consistency where you can understand I consider looking at the data is really one of the first steps in growing your business. And Haley, you and I talk about data all the time is the number one indicator.
Yeah. Marketing, so we were talking before we got on about, building my YouTube channel and stuff and about how it's playing, but it's also equally as much about the data, because we're looking to see, okay, well, how did this video do? What keywords are we, getting a response on? What keywords are we getting a response on here? And then we're tracking all of that data. And people don't seem to realize how much in marketing is about numbers.
Yep, it really is. Because it's not a guarantee, guys. You can't guarantee today you're going to have 10. But if you look at what your customer is telling you, you can predict that maybe the topic of filling your sales funnel, like we picked tonight, has 100% more likelihood of attracting the ideal client for Haley and I than picking a topic about, what color should I put in my logo?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because people want to know, how do I get more clients? How do I keep my sales pipeline full? And then as your business grows, how do I keep my business from exploding or imploding?
Yeah. And those are key indicators. So if you're watching this on the live or the replay and you are in a business that solves those kind of problems, this is really where you don't have to worry about pulling multiple levers, having, 10 different platforms you're on. Pick 2 or 3 and stay consistent with your message.
Absolutely. And keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times, we start to see some success and we're like, okay, I'm going to spread myself out a bit more. I'm going to go get some more clients. And sometimes, you end up in that situation, that is the guy who does the power washing. And then somebody asks him if he will clean out the gutters. And he's like, sure, I'll clean out the gutters while I'm at it. That's a really natural add-on service that you can do to that. Well, then somebody asks him, hey, can you, fix that rotten piece of wood while you're up there? And the smart power washing guy is going to understand that he probably needs to say no at that point. And the person who is struggling to make ends meet, hands to mouth, is going to say, sure, I will fix that wood. But what ends up happening is that he may have the skills to do it, but he's going to have to go rent the saw, go buy the wood. And it's going to take him an extra half a day or a day to do that piece of wood repair. And, in the meantime, he could have gone out and gotten, another 2 power washing jobs and made 3 times the profit. But because of, trying to expand in the wrong direction, he ends up with that situation where instead of doing more power washing jobs in the same neighborhood, he's and extra gutters for for an upsell, he's now taking more time, making less profit, and potentially putting himself out of business. And it looks like StreamYard is playing games again. So anyway, so when we start talking about that, like scaling and marketing piece, it's really tricky. And understanding when and where and how to grow and scale your business is super tricky. And we're playing the on again, off again game on StreamYard. I saw you kind of looking, and I'm like, oh crap, here we go again.
I know. I'm just like, it's possessed. It's possessed. So, Haley, the last one I heard you talk about was the power washer. Totally agree. Totally agree with the fact that he could have got 2 more jobs and made more money in the time that he was trying to figure that out. I totally get that. And that's really hard, guys. Like, just understand, like, we know, right? This the shiny object syndrome. It's the I want to help, I want to deliver, I want to give service, I want to be all these things to everyone. But you can't. That is not why you're in business. And that's why your sales pipeline is not full. Because they're all not the right people, because you end up not doing the 2 or 3 things really consistent on your marketing and letting that organically grow and letting that organically give you repeated business. It's really a hard place to be, and we get that and we know that, but we've done the things that you probably think, well, they don't understand my business. We do.
Oh, I've done it. I've made the mistakes. I've spent the tens of thousands of dollars, and not doing the market research. I think I've made just about every mistake in the book, and I've probably done it twice just for shiggles and grins, just because I could.
But that's the thing, right, Haley? That's what makes it fun, because you and I have learned both in our professional, both in our education, and even both now, social media is a wild, wild west, guys. Online is a wild, wild west. It is not going to be true today what you and I think, because tomorrow it's going to change. It's not possible. It is okay. No. You have to be adapting though.
Yeah, so constantly adapting to the changes in the algorithms, constantly changing, adapting to, consumer buying pattern changes and all of that. And that's why you have to have a couple of different marketing techniques that work, but not necessarily 20, because you're not going to manage to keep up with all the changes if you're trying to be on every single social media platform.
Right. And this is the funny part, Haley, which is really fun. When a business is going through the life cycle, when they're hitting maybe $3,000 to $5,000 a month, what's going to get them to 10 isn't the same thing that got them to 3 to 5. What's going to get them from 10 to 20 isn't the same formula. And that's the reason why we get frustrated sometimes with our clients, because they thought, well, this coach told us that, just keep doing what we're doing. And they get frustrated because they're like, but it didn't work. And it's like, it's because it's not going to be the same formula when you're scaling your business, guys. No. It's just not possible.
Right. And things do have to structurally change in your business as you scale.
Right.
Fascinating conversation I had with somebody earlier today was about how, there's a lot of advice in the online space, to, as soon as you can possibly afford it, hire a VA as soon as you can possibly do certain things. And I said, well, you really have to consider, when that is actually in your best interest, because you may not yet be making enough money to cover the actual costs of that VA. Because you have to remember, you're paying them for the hours that they're working, but you're also having to work more hours to pay for what they're doing. So if you're not, able to increase your prices or, be more profitable somehow or have more clients somehow, then it's going to be more hours of work and possibly less profit and less dollars in your pocket. So you have to do the math very carefully.
Yep. And this is what we call the badge of honor. A lot of business owners want to wear the badge of honor because they're so busy. They've got so much things going on that they can't possibly delegate. They can't possibly let go. So they wear this badge on their chest. And the only person that it's hurting is that business owner.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not ready yet. You're just not ready yet for the busyness you've got, but you're also not ready to let it go. It's kind of counterproductive. And you actually spend more money hiring team members you don't need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's hard. Guys, believe me.
It is really hard. I've done that. I'm like, yep, did that too. Hired too early, hired too late. I've had to let people go because I overhired, all those kinds of things. And, and people are probably going, well, how does this come into marketing? Well, if your pipeline's not full and consistent, you get a lot more ups and downs and you're not going to be able to manage it. And you're not going to be able to have the cash flow or the buffer in your cash to be able to manage some of the stuff.
And this is the hardest thing, Haley, I think, for a lot of business owners who, are relaunching in 2021. There was a lot of things we learned in 2020. Mm-hmm. And I always say, whatever you did in 2020, you must maintain in 2021, because the landscape and the pandemic and things you can't control is going to happen again, whether it's inflation, mm-hmm. whether it's, if you're a product-based business and you can't get your products out of China because right now shipping and all the tariffs are happening, like, you need to act as if the worst possible scenario is happening. Because if you have no product on the shelf to sell, you don't have a business.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a report on CNN about how Costco is suffering from supply chain issues because there's not enough shipping containers in the right places to load the product onto the ship to come in, to be shipped across the ocean to come in. So it's not even that the product isn't available. It's that the shipping containers aren't in the right places so that they can't be loaded to be loaded onto the ship. I'm like, I just am constantly in awe at, the people who manage the logistics involved in that. And I'm like, I'll take social media any day over some of the, hair pulling out that has the migraines that have got to go with that I know go with that.
Well, and Haley, the funny thing is, the consumer doesn't care about all those problems, guys.
Nope.
All they care about is, when I go to the store, is it going to be on the shelf down aisle 15? Because that's all they care about.
Yeah.
So you need to care more about the processes and systems and vendors and whoever your manufacturers are, because you don't have a business unless they've got their job and their stuff in line.
Yeah, totally.
So you can't market to anyone if you don't even know if you have product to sell.
Yeah, exactly. And if your team can't deliver, or if you can't deliver, then you don't have a business.
Nope.
Ouch. That hurts.
I know, but it's not bad, Haley, because at least we're talking about hard things. And that's why, this real talk's so valuable to the people who've jumped on and watched us, for months now that we've been doing this on Tuesdays. It's because these are the realities that you can't talk to your spouse about. You can't talk to your parents about. You can't even talk to your kids about it because they have no idea. And you need to have someone who's got their finger on the pulse of business, whether it's service or product-based business, someone who's not just coming out and saying, today I'm going to be a coach. I'm like, you have no depth to understand what is happening when payroll can't get paid. You don't have depth to understand when there's no product coming overseas into the US. Like, those are things, guys, and Haley and I will just laugh every time we say this, but those are the things that you have to understand when you're hiring someone for coaching and understanding, marketing and sales. You've got to go, have you been through something like this? Do you have the depth of knowledge and experience?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're just trying to save you guys some headaches. We're trying to save you from yourselves.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just nodding because I'm like, yeah. You know what happens when you can't make payroll because you hired too fast or your sales took a dip? Ouch.
Yep. And that family is responsible, right? Like, think about who that person impacts and who that other person impacts and what's happened. But guys, these are the things that happen, and it's natural. Oh, bless you, Haley.
Excuse me.
Oh, just think about this. It happens like this, guys. It happens in waves. And so you want to ride the wave as long as you can. But you remember, the undertone is what really creates the wave.
Yeah, the tsunami, the shifting of the ocean floor underneath is what actually causes the tsunami.
That's right. It's true. Are we going to hop on Clubhouse or what, Haley?
We're going to go hop on Clubhouse, y'all. The link is in the description above, below, wherever we are. Come join us over on Clubhouse. We're going to go play.
Go clubbing.
We're going to go clubbing. We're going to go play. So come join us. You can come chat with us. We're going to talk about keeping your sales funnel filled.
Yes. Have a great night, guys. See you over there.
Hey, guys. Bye-bye.